All right, what's going on, guys? Phil Daru back again with another video. Today I'm going to be going over my top exercises for takedown defense for mixed martial arts. Now, this can be done for wrestling and grappling situations, but primarily we're going to be talking about MMA. Now, the reason why I talk about these things, and I want to give you guys kind of like a background of my overall experience in the fight game. I was a fighter for 8 years, a professional fighter for American Top Team. I started fighting right after I got out of college. I played Division I football. Then right from there, I started competing in mixed martial arts. Started doing jiu-jitsu, and then obviously I was a boxing, more of a boxing style. I had a boxing background, had a Kempo karate background, so more along the lines of striking. So I had to make sure that my takedown defense was very, very important. So every time I would train that, when I got ready for a fight, it was more important for me to understand to not get taken down so that I can take the fight where I wanted to go. So as a fighter, I needed to do this. I needed to find ways to get better. I needed to find exercises that can increase my ability to not get taken down. So here are gonna be my top exercises, and I'm also gonna go over why it's important and how you can increase your overall ability to not get taken down. Let's do it. Okay, so first I wanna go over some key points to improve your takedown defense. Now, the first thing we're gonna be doing is we wanna make sure that we're improving our reaction time, all right? Now, this is gonna come with your skills practice. You have to drill your takedown defense in all different ways. You know, getting underhooks, pushing the head down. It depends on if you're getting a single leg or you're getting out of a double leg. You wanna make sure that you're drilling these takedown defenses appropriately throughout your skills practice. You're also gonna make sure that you're doing it live in sparring. So grappling and MMA sparring, you wanna make sure that your training partner is going to give you a good look with the takedowns itself, all right? Also, we have to improve on our speed and overall quickness. So you use things like ballistics and plyometrics, and basically what that means is jumping, bounding, and any type of med ball throwing, right? You're gonna use that to increase your speed and reaction time, but also mainly quickness, getting in and out of that position so that if they do get a hold of your leg, you're able to sprawl out of there quickly. Okay, you also want to increase your strength. Now, we're going to be talking about this in the exercises, but basically you want to make sure that you're strengthening up your hips, your core, and your entire posterior chain. If you do that, you're going to have better force production, getting out of that range, and also breaking the clasp or the grasp of their hands and their arms on your leg or on your hips. You're also going to work on compound exercises. So we're going to be working on squats, hip hinging like a deadlift. You're going to be working on things that are going to increase your force production of these muscles, of these positions of your body. Okay, you also want to make sure you're improving your balance and overall stability. Now, you're going to do that with postural alignment or structural integrity. You need to make sure that you have good core stability. You're able to balance yourself in multi-directional patterns, and you do that with proper exercises that I'm going to go over. Okay, you also want to make sure you're in a good fight position or specific movements that correlate to the sport. So you need to train your sport, right? So you need to understand your movement quality inside the sport itself. You need to understand your position on the floor and your fight position. So if I'm here and a fighter comes at me, going to take me down, I need to make sure that I know where I'm at in space so I can sprawl my leg back or sprawl my hips back in order to get away from that takedown. All right, so now I'm gonna go over my prime exercises to improve your takedown defense. Okay guys, so now I'm gonna get into the exercises that I utilize to help increase the strength in the muscles needed to improve takedown defense. So the muscles to strengthen first and foremost is going to be the hip extensors. So we're talking about mainly the glutes and the erector muscles. So muscles of the low back, muscles of the glutes. Okay, the exercises that we are going to utilize is going to be a split stance, Zercher, good morning. Now, the reason why I do that with the Zercher is because you are getting those double underhooks. It's very mimicking of a fight-specific position, and then you're also getting in that stagger stance so you can work on both sides independently so we can decrease those asymmetries. Okay, you're also going to be working on glute bridges, all right? So from the force vector going horizontally, we want to work on those glutes. If somebody is coming into our position, we want to make sure that we have good glute and hip force production so that we can bump them off and get some space to clear out to get back into position. Right, you're also going to be working on glute hamstring raise. So we're going to use a GHR machine or a GHD machine. Right, you're basically going to be primarily working on the glutes, but the hamstrings are going to come into play as well. Okay, you're also going to be working on a banded pull through. I like these because it does mimic the force production of the hips when you're going to stop a shot from progressing further. Okay. Another thing that we want to work on is anti-flexion, anti-rotation, and rotational strength. So what we're going to be working on is the muscles of the mid-traps, the obliques, and the tensor fasciae lata or TFL. All right. The exercises that we are going to be utilizing to enhance these qualities is to make sure that we are working on scarecrows. Right, that's going to be working on the muscles of the upper back, the T-spine in general, to make sure you're increasing your postural alignment like we talked about before. Okay, med ball, washing machine. Now this is going to basically fire up your obliques, making sure that you can twist and turn. If you get it underhook, you want to make sure that you're torquing and getting them out of there. Okay, Palloff press is another anti-rotation movement that I've done in past videos. And then weighted T-spine rotation. Now this is going to be something new to you guys, but basically you're going to get in a hip hinge, and I'm going to show you how you actually rotate through the T-spine, disassociating from the lumbar, right? We're going to be utilizing that because we want to make sure that we have a stiff, rigid core, and we want to have mobility in the outer extremities so that we can get off that position when they go in and get a hold of you. All right, so we're gonna go over these exercises. Let's get it. Okay, so for the split stance Zercher, good morning. You're going to get in a regular Zercher position, so putting the bar in the crooks of the elbow. If you don't know how to do this, I did a video on the Zercher squat. I'll put the link in the description so you could check that out. But basically what we're gonna do, you're gonna take your elbows, you're gonna put it on right here, right by the edge of the knurling. Grip the hands tight so you're getting upper body muscle activation. Get your glutes underneath, off the rack, step. Then split stance, 1 foot in front, 1 foot back, okay? From there, you're gonna bend the knees and hip hinge forward, stretching out the front hamstring and then driving the hips through, boom. Again, keeping your back as arched as possible, nice and flat, driving up, boom. Hips are back, drive up, boom. Okay. Now it depends on what you want to work on. If you want to work maximally, I would say do about 3 reps in total, going about 90+%. If you're working on overall volume and hypertrophy, you want to work on a 6 to even an 8 reps per side, and making sure that the intensity is going to be around 70 to about 85%, nothing more than that. All right, on to the next one. Okay, so now for the glute bridges, you can use a barbell, you can use chains, you can use a band attached to pins. If you have a platform that you can attach bands to, go ahead and do that. I'm gonna use a barbell. So basically what you're gonna do, you're gonna slide that barbell to your hips, okay? Get in a good position, all right? From there, take your hands, make sure that the barbell doesn't slide back on you, so you're gonna keep it from sliding forward or sliding back towards your chest. Then you're gonna drive your hips up, squeeze the glutes, and then back down. Okay, you want it to be explosive, right, on the concentric. Pause it at the top for about a second or two, and then come down controlled. For these, you wanna do a little bit more volume. So sets from 8 to 10 reps, or even 12 reps, or even 20 to 25 reps if you're working strength endurance, right? Try these out. Let's go to the next one. All right, so for the Palloff press, or anti-rotation, we're gonna take a band, you're gonna tie it up to a rig or a rack, take the far side hand, pull it over, grab the other hand, step out, get good tension, lock your core down, lats are tight. You're gonna press out in front of you, making sure that you don't rotate back. Bring it back into the chest, bring it back out, hold for a second or two, then back in. okay? For these, you can do around 8 to 10 reps each side for about 3 to 4 sets. On to the next one. Okay, so for the banded pull-throughs, you're gonna take a heavy band, you're gonna wrap it by a rig or a rack or something that's going to stabilize, and then you're going to go underneath, wrap the band underneath your legs, going forward, making sure you get good tension. From there, you're gonna lock your lats down, you're gonna hinge back, letting that band pull you back, and then from there, you're gonna drive your hips forward, pulling through. You're here, drive your hips forward, boom. Drive the hips forward, squeeze the glutes, keep both lats locked down, chest is tall, pull through, boom. Should feel a good stretch in your hamstring as you hip hinge back. You wanna do about 8 to 10 repetitions with these. You can do about 3 to 4 sets. On to the next one. Okay, so for the Scarecrows, you can go on an incline bench or you could stand straight up. I like the incline bench because it just makes the movement a lot more smoother. And especially if you have limited external rotation, this will help as well. You can use it weighted or you can regress and just do with your hands. Progressions, you don't wanna go anywhere heavier than about 5 pounds because you are working the joints. So what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna work on smaller overall percentage of weight, but we're working on full rotation, trying to gain that increase in mobility in the upper back and also strengthening up the muscles of the T-spine. So that's how you're gonna start. I'm gonna go here, okay? You wanna protract first. We're gonna retract, pull up, externally rotate, then press to a wide position, back down, repeat the process. Up, rotate, down. You wanna make sure your back is flat. You can drive your hips into the bench to keep your back honest and nice and flat, good posture, so you're not rounding or extending in the TL junction or in your lumbar spine. So we're here, up, rotate, press, down, up, rotate, press, down. All right, on to the next one. Okay, so for the next one, we're gonna be working on change of direction in that rotational pattern. So we're gonna use a med ball, and this is called washing machine. So basically, for the guys, you wanna give them about a 12 to 15 pound med ball. For the girls, they can do a 6 to maybe 8 pound med ball. Just wanna make sure that they're getting good rotation and redirecting force so that when you do get that underhook and you're trying to get them off of you, shuck them off, you wanna make sure that you're engaging the muscles and strengthening up the force production in those muscles of the obliques, of the transverse abdominals. So this is what we're gonna do. Take the ball, put it on your chest, lock your lats down. From here, you're gonna get a squared up stance. Screw your feet in so you can create hip torque and glute stability, right? From there, you're gonna rotate over, but you're not gonna pivot. You're gonna keep your feet down. It's gonna be rapid fire. You're gonna do 6 to 8 reps each side as quick as possible. So here it goes. Right? If you do it right, you'll feel your obliques fire up. If you do it wrong and you round the back, you're gonna throw it into your lower back and you're not gonna get what you want to get out of it, okay? Plus you're putting your lower back in an advantageous position, in a compromising position. So we wanna make sure that we're keeping a good posture, lats are tight, and you're rotating as fast as possible. On to the next one. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to the glute ham raise on the GHD machine. Now with the GHD, wherever your knees are, in front or in back of the platform, is gonna make it harder or less hard. So the further you're up on the platform, the harder it's gonna be. The further back, the less hard it's gonna be. So you wanna start with a comfortable position to where when you come up, you're not bringing your hips back. You wanna make sure that your glutes are locked in, right? And you're getting good extension in the hips as you come down and as you come back up. You're gonna initiate the pull with the hamstrings, pushing your heels into the platform, straightening out your body. As you go to pull back, you're gonna use the muscles of your hamstrings and your glutes to finish off the movement coming up. So this is what it looks like. Glutes are tight, right? I'm going to extend my body as far as I can and then drive forward. Again, squeeze my glutes, extend my body, drive forward. glutes. Okay, if you do this correctly, the most you'll probably be able to get with good technique is around 8 to 10 reps. All right, so if you want to make this even harder, you can maximally load it. Put a 25-pound plate on your chest. You can load it that way. If you need to regress it, however, you can attach a band, pull it through to give you some help getting out of that hole. All right, this was the GHR, or the glute ham raise. On to the next one. Okay, now for the weighted T-spine rotation, you're gonna take a weight plate or a kettlebell, right? We're gonna take that plate, you're gonna drive back, so you're gonna hinge back, arms are gonna be out in front of you, all right? From here, you're gonna brace your core down, making sure that your lumbar does not rotate. We're only rotating from the upper back, the T-spine. So brace the core. Okay, if you do that right, you're gonna activate your serratus anterior. You're also gonna activate the muscles of the T-spine. Then also you're activating your core and your anti-rotation of the obliques and the transverse abdominals, okay? You can do this for about 6 to 8 repetitions each side. Do for 3 sets, all right? Do this at the end of your training session to fire up your core. And you could do it in the beginning to make sure it's kind of like a warm-up drill to make sure that you're increasing your central nervous system, and you're also getting activation in your core abdominal muscles. All right, guys, so you've seen the exercises that I use for takedown defense. Now, if you have any questions, you know what to do. Go ahead and comment down below and I'll be sure to answer them. Also, if you like this video, make sure you hit subscribe, then also hit the notification button so you know when these videos come out. Hit the like button if you like these types of videos, and give me some feedback if you want to see more. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you next time.